Dandavat Pranam. Good evening from the Bhakti Yoga Institute, an educational initiative from the Śrī Śikṣāṣṭakam Math, London. We're so grateful to you all for joining here in person and online. Yesterday, we had a wonderful start to our Śikṣāṣṭakam course taught by Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj, a very auspicious and well-attended start to a glorious course. And we are very excited to hear more from Srila Madhusudan Maharaj. Today we will study verse 2 from the Śikṣāṣṭakam. And we will, without further ado, please, Maharaj, begin our course. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai, and Jai Srila Bhakti Rakha Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, and Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us Śikṣāṣṭakam, and yesterday we gave an introduction to what is Śikṣāṣṭakam. And Srila Gurudev, we gave a quote towards the end that the Śikṣāṣṭakam is the gist of every shloka. The gist of all shlokas is contained within these 8 verses of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they're very important for us. And yesterday we stressed how the Śikṣāṣṭakam, Mahaprabhu relished this as the apex of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which Srila Guru Maharaj told, this one scripture of Chaitanya Charitamrita. If all other books, all other scripture will be burnt in some big fire, whatever, in the world, but only Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita remains, then nothing will be lost. The whole of the conception of spiritual life in its purest form to the highest destination has been given there by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj. So yesterday we heard of the 7 offenses, the 7 effects of the chanting of the holy name of who? Krishna. Okay, little hesitation there. But the 7 effects of chanting the holy name of Krishna, as given in the Śikṣāṣṭakam prayers, as given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his very own composition. And so we'll just cover yesterday's verse, because this verse, Srila Guru Maharaj tells that everything is there, Srila Guru tells everything is there, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells that everything is there about what are the effects of the holy name of the Lord. So that verse, the first verse was Cheto dapanam marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kairagva chandrika vitaranam vidya vadhu jivanam anandam buddhi vadanam pratipadang punamrita shvadanam sarvatma snapanam parang vijayate Shri Krishna sankirtanam. And the 7 effects of chanting the holy name as given by Mahaprabhu. First, cleanses the mirror of the heart. And while today looking and doing little research about the 2nd verse, I came across how Srila Guru Maharaj explains elsewhere that this example of cleaning the mirror of the heart, because we had a question come up yesterday, cleaning the mirror of the heart is, if you have a mirror which is clean, you can see yourself in the mirror. But our mirror of the heart is so covered, we can't see ourselves. So this cleansing the mirror of the heart, then when that is a little clean, we can see who we are. We can see ourselves in that mirror. We can understand that we are the jiva soul, that we have all these qualities, which the name is going to unfold. So number 1, cleanses the mirror of the heart. And 2, it extinguishes the blazing fire of material existence. So the first effect is cleansing the mirror. We can start to see who we are. Number two, it is extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence, which is kind of a good thing, because the fire of material existence is causing us so much trouble. Everybody, whether today or tomorrow, but it was a few years ago when we're in the womb of our mother, it was a few years before that when we left our body, and it will be in the future. So if we think we are enjoying life peacefully now, then it's only a temporary peacefulness. That fire of material existence is burning around and will catch us. So this is just a recap on yesterday. So cleansing the mirror of the heart, extinguishing the fire of material existence, and then Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitarana. It spreads the moonlight that causes the white lotus of good fortune to bloom. In other words, it's extending some good fortune to the soul, that we start to wake up. The lotus is in a bud form and then it blooms. So it spreads that nourishing, cooling moonlight for that lotus in our heart of our heart to bloom. Then 4, it is the life of all transcendental knowledge. Vidya vadhu jivanam. It brings us our spiritual understanding, spiritual life, and transforming knowledge from theory into realization. And theory is one thing, but knowing, feeling, experience something, that is the purpose of getting some understanding, some knowledge, so that we can experience something. We want happiness. We want joy. But it's not written in a book. It is an experience. It's something we have to feel. And then, so it is, so the life of transcendental knowledge. Then number 5, it expands the ocean of anandam, of extreme joy. So anandam buddhi vadanam, overflowingly expanding that ocean. And then it enables us to taste nectar at every step, is number 6. And the last one, that every corresponding atom of our body will find its place there, and we will be given a place in service in the Lord's personal retinue, in the servant, as a servant of the servant. We'll have our pure identity and residence in that highest quarter. Hare Krishna. So, wonderful prospect was given in the first verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam. And then the second verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam, there's only 8 verses. So the second verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam is giving, as Guru Maharaj says, he actually says the antithesis, but where in England the pronunciation is, in English, is antithesis, but it is antithesis. The thesis and then the antithesis, or antithesis, if you like. And that verse is the verse which is beginning nāmnām. So we can say that. You have the sheet together. You have the sheet in front of you. I don't? Oh, I do. So I have the sheet also in a folder. So we can say slowly together the second verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam prayers. So slowly together. Nāmnām akāri bahudhā nija-sarva-śaktis tatrārpitā niyamitaḥ smaraṇe kālaḥ etādṛśī tava kṛpā bhagavan mamāpi durdaivam īdṛśam ihājani nānurāgaḥ. And then I'll come to the golden volcano of divine love. And in this book, the whole of the second section of this book is dedicated to the Śikṣāṣṭakam. So this is extremely good book to read, and we are really giving some, as we say, appetizer, so that you will read more and hear the words, the direct words. They're not translated also, the direct words of, in this case, Srila Guru Maharaj explaining the Śikṣāṣṭakam prayers. And in the Revealed Truth, a book called Revealed Truth by Srila Govinda Maharaj, there you will find Srila Govinda Maharaj explaining these verses also. So your sheet that you have has his translation, I think, from here. But here, yes, anyway. And here we've also got a chapter in here of explanation, understanding of that verse. So we'll read the translation over the page. And so it is in gently poetic form here, but it is in prose form here. So you may listen. Oh my Lord. So this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's own composition. Oh my Lord, your holy name bestows auspiciousness upon all. And you have unlimited names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you reveal yourself. In your many holy names, you have kindly invested all your transcendental potency. And in chanting these names, there are no strict rules concerning time or place. Out of your causeless mercy, you have descended in the form of divine sound. But, and then the but comes in the last line, but durdaivam, but my misfortune, my great misfortune, is that I have no love for your holy name. So the holy name of the Lord has been given by Mahaprabhu. The holy name has been distributed, and we've heard its glories, but we are left feeling that we have no taste for that. I have no love for your holy name. So we may think, okay, now we are in a hopeless position. We've been given the medicine. We've been given the very remedy of our life, and we're told it's going to wake up love of God. It's not there as something to just make us get relief from material life, but it's there to give us the very positive engagement. Not only love of God, but as we heard from the first verse, our identity, our pure identity in service to the Lord in the highest plane. But my misfortune is that we have no taste, no love for that holy name. Now this is coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who throughout the previous chapters leading up to the last chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, of approximately 10 or 11,000 verses, that this is his expression, and those previous chapters have all been showing his mad love of Krishna. And then we think, how can he, who is experiencing so many inconceivable ecstasies, now relishing his own verses that he composed, including this expression? He's given this all the glories that the Lord, he's been so generous to give us the holy name, fully empowered with all his potencies. And he's given us the holy name without any strict rules that we must bathe first, chant so many mantras, face in a certain direction, etc., etc. About time or place, that we can chant anywhere. And indeed in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, then Mahaprabhu gave the Maha Mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He gave that Maha Mantra and gave the instruction to everyone. I've given you this Maha Mantra, you take it and chant it constantly. It doesn't matter if you're asleep, if you're awake, if you're going somewhere, whatever you do in all circumstances, chant the holy name of the Lord. So fully no restriction. So Mahaprabhu, in his own verse, in this second verse of Śikṣāṣṭakam, he's made this point in all the first part of the sloka, that Krishna has been so generous to give the holy name, which is accessible to everybody. You don't need money, you don't need vast concentration, you don't need all the capacity to learn mantras and do these special mantras with the yagyas with the right mantras so you get the right result, etc. You don't need these capacities. Anybody can just follow the instruction of Mahaprabhu, that is, take the name of Krishna. He's given himself everything within the name of Krishna, and you will get everything. But then he comes to the point that, oh dear, I am feeling that I do not have any love for this holy name. And this has been harmonized by our masters, because if we think with our logical brain, we may think, this is an exaggeration. He's just showing some humility rather than expressing. But he is absolutely feeling all of these things that he is expressing. And Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Gurudev, they've all given us this understanding that as we come in relativity of the infinitely beautiful, sweet, charming, loving, etc., the infinite Supreme Lord, then as we come to actually have some touch of that, then we will naturally feel how little we have compared with what is the Lord himself. He's given everything, he's given all these things, and whatever we have got, we feel like it is nothing in that relation. And so then there is the hankering. The hankering wakes up that we want that, but we don't feel we have it. And so this is also one of those wonderful things about Krishna consciousness, that it is not one of these practices where we claim we get all these qualities and me, I have this, I have this. It's the opposite. It is the path where we realize, more we come close to the Lord, the more we realize we don't have what is there within that plane. And we are a tiny jiva soul. To help us understand how tiny, sometimes the example is given, or it is given in the scripture, that the jiva soul is considered the size, us, you and I. We think we're 1.4 meters tall or something, whatever thing, height we are in England, feet, 5 feet 6 inches tall, depending on the size of the feet. But we think like this, but the scripture tells us that to understand how small we are, says the 10,000th size, the tip of a hair. Take a tip of a hair, cut it into 100 pieces, take one of those pieces, cut it into 100 pieces. That's 10,000th size, the tip of a hair. But again, that's to let us see, because the soul is not material, it is spiritual. So we can't even measure it in such a way. But sometimes analogies are given to help us to understand how tiny we are. And hence, we are so tiny that we can become a microbe. We can become a virus. We can become an ant. And we can become an elephant. But it's the same soul, the same person living in the body. But in relation to Krishna, then what capacity have we got to hold in our hand what he is graciously giving, like an ocean of anandam. An ocean of anandam in the first verse, and not only an ocean, an ever-increasing ocean of joy. So our little selves, what can we capture? But still, there is always this hope and this understanding, as Srila Guru Maharaj pointed out, that we cannot force Krishna. We cannot force Krishna to show himself. We can't force the Lord to show himself. But if he wishes, he can make himself known to us, because he can do anything. So this is that department of grace. And the department of grace, especially in Kali Yuga, is the holy name. And elsewhere, maybe the Brihad Naradiya Purana, maybe there's the verse, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, 3 times. Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Gatir Anyata. In Kali Yuga, Kalau, there is no other way, no other way, no other way, except chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, to make our lives successful and come to the Lord. We cannot do austerities, we cannot do great sacrifices, we cannot do all of these things that were done in previous ages. We cannot sit and do our meditation. Yesterday we made a challenge. So you think you can do meditation? Well, follow the scripture, take your thing and meditate for 10,000 years. And when you come out of that, think about it. But you won't, because we can't meditate for even a few minutes. And even if we could, we've got a maximum of 100 years or maybe 102 years in this life. But we can't do those things which were done in previous ages. And more than that, how has the name, so in Kali Yuga, in every Kali Yuga, this is the Yuga Dharma. This is the yajna, the sacrifice. For Kali Yuga is to chant the holy name of the Lord. And the Lord, as Mahaprabhu has expressed to us, has given everything in his holy name. So we know that the Lord, he can appear in the deity form, he can appear in the water form, he can appear in different forms, and in the sound form, the Lord is appearing within the holy name, with his holy name. So everywhere we are told, his name and himself are non-different. So Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is to chant the holy name of the Lord. And then in the Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, which we are reading now, is volume 3. Is that correct? We were reading, I think, anyway, there's a series, Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, and in there, Srila Guru Maharaj is explaining, Srila Sridhar Maharaj is explaining about the potency within the name, within the cover of the sound we hear with our ears. That is all important. And in Loving Search for the Lost Servant, we are reading that book there, in a different way, he's expressing this. So the medicine capsule, the capsule is not the medicine, it's what's inside. Hence we need to meet up with those who have got connection of the potency of the holy name. And in Kali Yuga, then who is giving us the holy name? Who is inaugurating this, the yajna of chanting the holy name? It is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord himself, as he says in Bhagavad Gita, most of you have been following the Bhagavad Gita course, he comes to establish religious principles. He comes to set things straight. And as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he comes in each Kali Yuga to distribute, to bring the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. the Maha Mantra for this age, which is this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He comes to inaugurate the chanting of the holy names. Now, that is full of all generosity, will take us everywhere. But once in a day of Lord Brahma, the original Lord himself comes not as an avatar. An avatar is the Lord manifests himself and comes to so many universes, so many places in different forms. But avatari, which means the origin of the avatars. And that avatari, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, comes in once in a day of Lord Brahma, which we double-checked our mathematics before coming to join you in person. By the way, those at home, we have a full, let's say, lecture hall, transcendental hall, huh?
Temple classroom.
Oh, temple classroom. We have a full temple classroom of sincere students and online. Oh, I don't know who's online.
Yes.
But I'm sure we got a full transcendental temple Zoom hall too. But we did our calculation before coming to join you all this evening and did our mathematics, because it seemed like an awful long time. But how long is one day of Lord Brahma? Is 4,320,000 years times 1,000. And I actually thought it was 100, so that would only make it 4,320,000 times 100, just a short time. But it's 1,000 times that, and that amount is just inconceivable to our puppy brains, our 1/10,000th the tip of a hair capacity, which we have. So it's inconceivable. But the avatari, Lord Krishna, in the mood of his best, topmost devotee, Radharani, has come, combined, to distribute and to taste the holy name of the Lord of that highest order. And so, when we are considering the magnanimity of the holy name, we must also, especially now, take into account the turbocharged magnanimity, whatever expression we can give. And Krishnadas Kaviraj and Vrindavan Das Thakur Sanatana Goswami, in describing so many things of the upper world, the chamatkara, amazing, stupefacente things of the upper world, they are lost for words and they are trying to express things. So in the modern world, we have some expression of turbocharged. You get a car with a turbocharger, then you press a switch and it goes down the road with flames behind and leaves everyone behind. So a extremely turbocharged holy name has come with the avatari manifestation of the Lord himself. And so, in this consideration of magnanimity, generosity, fullness, there is full, more full, overfull, explodingly full, turbocharged full, all of these things. And this fullest of the full has just been here a few moments ago in terms of time of the universe. And a few moments ago, 500 years ago, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, original avatari, he came and gave this Maha Mantra for everyone. And Guru Maharaj is explaining, Maha Mantra means to take from the very lowest, the most sinful, the most anything, the most uneducated, the most this, that, and the other position, to the topmost position. Otherwise, it's not the Maha Mantra. There must be something which can do that. And this is the Maha Mantra. And has been made available to us without any of these conditions, which basically any other religious process or upward journey process given throughout the scripture there are some rules, regulations, do this, do that. But essentially, as far as chanting the holy name is concerned, in any condition and anywhere, we can chant. And there is a story or a parable, and I've read it from one of our books, which means from Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. I'm not sure where, but there is a guru and a student. And the guru was teaching about the holy name and telling the student, you must always chant the holy name. And the student's name was Govinda, not our Govinda Maharaj, not Govinda Maharaj, but there are various people with the name Govinda or Govinda Das, because Govinda, of course, is the name of Krishna. But the student's name was Govinda. And he saw his guru. He's always taking the name of the Lord. And he could hear quietly or a little bit some sound. Generally, his guru would be chanting with a little sound. And but then the one day the disciple humbly came to his master and said, Master, I see you are always chanting the holy name of the Lord. Always. I see everywhere, all the time, even you're sleeping, and I see, when half awake, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But why is it when you go to the latrine, to the bathroom, WC, whatever it is, America say restroom. Why restroom? Very peculiar. Anyhow, when you go to the bathroom, the student, he said, but Gurudev, I notice when you go to the bathroom, then all is quiet. You're not chanting. Then the Guru thought that really it is kind of a custom, in the toilet and everything, you don't speak, you don't this, that, and the other. And then the Guru thought, actually, my student is quite right. And then he gave his student the name, his name was Govinda, he gave him the name Guru Govinda. I consider you are my guru. You are telling me this. So, Guru Govinda. And then from then on, he chanted everywhere. So, as an example that the name of the Lord can be chanted anywhere and everywhere. It's not by our qualification of cleanliness or anything else. It is fully merciful. Mercy, grace, kindness, generosity, magnanimity. And the Lord, He can give. He has everything. And what is His gift through the holy name? It's not just, wakening up to I can see the world better now, or getting liberation, this idea of liberation. We get relief of all suffering and we can float in the sky. Or if not even float in the sky, just have very deep sleep forever. It's not that. The name is giving us the journey to love of God, Krishna Prema, as explained in the first verse. So the generosity, the magnanimity, it is not just giving relief from suffering, which in general is considered as very good. If I could go to the pharmacy and they've got this tablet which will give me relief from all suffering, bodily and mental, people will pay a lot of money for that. But this is giving that relief plus the positive side which everybody internally hankers for, which is pleasure, joy, fulfillment, happiness, love, attraction, all of these things. And this is fulfilled in relation to the Lord. And who is the Lord of love? Who is that original Lord of all Lords? We mentioned akāri. And He is the embodiment of love, sweetness, beauty, compassion, everything. And so the holy name of the Lord, it is not only a medicine, it is a medicine, plus it is the nourishment for the healthy person. Medicine is to get somebody healthy. Somebody is sick, okay, here's some medicine. Take the medicine, get well. But what does a healthy person do? They need nourishment. to find the land of eternal joy and happiness. The first verse has set the scene. It's shown what this holy name can do. And the second verse is showing that the Lord, Krishna himself, and especially when he comes as Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna combined, that the Lord himself has come to give his holy name and has come to give us the mood of approaching that holy name. And this mood where we will consider whatever we get, we may get a little feeling, something, now I feel a nice taste or something. We will always consider that it is not that which Mahaprabhu is exemplifying and giving in his life as shown in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But it is giving us more and more hankering for the more quality, more quantity, more ecstasy, more love, all of these things. And so this idea that we are always in need, that is also a strong part for our practicing life, not to think, I have achieved, now I know everything, now I've got. Rather, I maybe get something, but it's now an indication that there is so much more out there. So now we understand. Now getting that little bit or seeing that little bit, we say, oh, this is nothing compared with that wonderful ocean. And that ocean of joy, beauty, sweetness and charm, that is there embodied in Krishna, Sri Krishna reality, the beautiful. And where is that place where everyone has that quality? Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. So many things. And Mahaprabhu yesterday promised us. And so I just read maybe 2 or 4 verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And they are exactly continuing from where we read yesterday, where we were setting the scene for Mahaprabhu relishing the Śikṣāṣṭakam. And so the verses are Antya-lila, the last chapter, Antya-lila, the last part of the book. And I'll just read this verse. It's not on your sheet, I don't think. Something? Okay?
Everyone okay?
Everyone okay? Nobody's travel sick? Do we want to slow down the car on the bends as we go up? Everybody good? No one's travel sick? Okay, we'll go on steadily around the twists and turns of Krishna consciousness. All right, so Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. So it's chapter 20, text number 20. Oh, chapter 20 of Antya-lila, text number 20. And it's the promise that Mahaprabhu gave us yesterday. We read this, maybe not the Bengali, but we read the translation. So we'll read the translation again. Oh, no, sorry, I'm giving you the wrong verse. I've jumped forward 16 because I've been reading it. So 16 to 19. So that's 4 verses we're reading. No, 15. So after explaining yesterday's verse, or the first verse of Śikṣāṣṭakam that we started with today, which was Cheto Dapanam Marjanam Bhava, this verse, then he explained that Mahaprabhu is relishing that, and then lamentation and humility awoke within Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the translation of text 15, chapter 20 for the translators. Lamentation and humility awoke within Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he began reciting another of his own verses. By hearing the meaning of that verse, one can forget all unhappiness and lamentation. There you are, that's Mahaprabhu's promise. And so first we're going to give this verse, that verse in Bangla. That is, Utila Vishard there was awakening of vishad, lamentation, and dainya, humility. So utila, vishada, dainya. Then pare apana shloka. He spoke another of his own slokas, verses. And jahara ata shuni sobajaya dukkha shoka. All hearing the meaning of this, all of your dukkha, your unhappiness, and your shoka, your lamentation, will disappear. So that's that verse. And then the verse is on your sheet, today's second verse. Nāmnām. Okay, yeah, so we can read together, then you find it on your sheet. Verse number 2, nāmnām akāri. So slowly together. Nāmnām akāri bahudhā nija-sarva-śaktis tatrārpitā niyamitaḥ smaraṇe kālaḥ etādṛśī tava kṛpā bhagavan mamāpi durdaivam īdṛśam ihājani nānurāgaḥ. And then the translation that we read from here, because we have the translation here. We read it already, but because we're going through this and we're reading this now in Chaitanya Charitamrita, then I'll just read that verse again, the meaning, and that is from Srila Guru Maharaj's golden reflections. O my Lord, your holy name bestows auspiciousness upon all, and you have unlimited names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you reveal yourself. In your many holy names, you have kindly invested all your transcendental potency. And in chanting these names, there are no strict rules concerning time or place. Out of your causeless mercy, you have descended in the form of divine sound. But my great misfortune is that I have no love for your holy name. And then, actually, I think the next verses are actually Krishna's Kaviraj in Bengali telling this verse, because this verse is in Sanskrit, and so the readers of Chaitanya Charitamrita, with the Bengali section of India, and Bengali is a simple language. So all of you who know Telugu and Tamil and Gujarati and Hindi and any other of the 22 main languages of India and something like 100 dialects, I'm not sure, India has many things, very easy for you to learn. So Bengali is a simple language, but has expressive content similar to Sanskrit. So Srila Krishna's Kaviraj, oh, well, he's telling what Mahaprabhu is saying. Mahaprabhu is giving the meaning of that Sanskrit verse himself, saying, Onek lokera vancha, oneka prakara, kṛpāte korila, oneka nāmera prachara. And onek, many, this word is there. Because people vary in their desires, many desires, you have distributed various, says there, many holy names by your mercy. So many persons, many varieties of desires, and then where did we get? Oh yeah, again, Onika, many holy names you have broadcast. Then the next verse, regardless of time or place, one who chants the holy name even while eating or sleeping attains all perfection. And the next verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, you, dear Lord, have invested your full potencies in each individual holy name, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attachment for chanting your holy names. So Bengali-speaking people at home, then this, so kaite, shuite, eating, lying down. So those verses in Bengali, haite, shuite, jata, tata, nama, loya, kālaḥ, desha, niyamanahi, sava, siddhi, hoya. And sarva-shakti, nāmi, dila, karya, vibhaga, amara, durdaiva, nāme, nahi, nānurāgaḥ. Oh dear, my great misfortune, I have no taste in chanting the holy name. Okay, and I'll give you just a little hint for tomorrow, because the next verse for tomorrow is going to be Mahaprabhu still speaking, saying, O Swarup Damada, O Ramananda Roy, hear from me the symptoms of how you should chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to awaken very easily one's dormant love for Krishna. So that's for tomorrow. That's why you have to come back tomorrow and hear some more. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
It seems there are some questions here already, and I'm probably meant to allow for questions. Why does the clock say 20 past 10? Does it say 20 past 10?
7.
Oh, it's the second hand. Okay, the second hand is as thick as the hour hand. Pretty good. Or appears to be from this angle.
The clock has stopped to listen Harinam.
The clock has stopped to listen to. Well, in Goloka Vrindavan, time is conspicuous by its absence, we are told. And in Sri Brahma Samhita, we are told that in Goloka Vrindavan, the time is never separated, past and future, even for a split second, always in the present. It's inconceivable. And in the 5th canto, I think, of Srimad Bhagavatam, where the creation is described, there's a description of how from the subtle, the gross comes. From subtle things, the material things come. And we can understand it's possible, quite possible. What is water? You take oxygen, it's a gas. Take hydrogen, it's a gas. And in a certain way, they come together, you got water. So we can understand it. The finer produces the more gross. But there's a list of how things come into the universe one by one. And one of them is listed time. Time, a material element is coming in. As well as mind, false ego, all these are also entered into the material universe. And hence, we get covered with all these material conceptions, including time, mind, ego, and everything. And they're causing us a lot of problems. But there's a solution. And this is what's being emphasized by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he's explaining the glories of the holy name and explaining the mood of the devotees in chanting the holy names. But you have a question. Sir.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
So the verses have been written by Kavi Krishna Raj, I suppose?
The Sanskrit, this verse saying nāmnām, akāri, bahudhā, this is written by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay.
It's only a few of the verses that he actually personally composed.
Okay.
He said many things and gave so much instruction, but his own composition is this 8 verses, only 8 verses.
So, whom it is referred to, like he's saying that it is my misfortune that I have no love for your holy name.
Yes.
Who is saying to whom?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying to everybody, but to Krishna.
Okay.
What translation is given there exactly? But the you is a capital Y. Your holy name is saying to Krishna.
Okay.
But dear Lord, my great misfortune, durdaiva, great, not just little misfortune, great misfortune.
So why he is expressing that feeling? Why he is expressing that feeling? He is distributing that naam
Yes.
mantra to everyone, but he is still saying that his misfortune, that he is not getting the love of that mantra.
Because he's coming, by chanting this mantra, he's coming now into the relativity of the overflowing ocean of love.
Okay.
And so the natural feeling is, I barely have a drop of that.
Okay.
And so in comparison with that, I have nothing. Dear Lord, I have no love for your name.
Yeah.
This way.
In that case, then we are the most misfortunate.
We are
Because
the
if,
most misfortunate.
If Mahaprabhu is not getting the
Yeah.
love for that name after chanting and distributing, what can we say about ourselves?
Well, exactly, except we don't recognize it.
Yeah.
And our tendency, when we don't have a touch of that, is to think we get a little relief, a little happiness, and then we think, oh, now I have everything.
Okay.
But when actually the grace from above will come through the holy name, then we will start to understand that, oh, there's an overflowing, ever expanding, ever fresh, ever new ocean of love and beauty. And my misfortune is that I am trying to chant your name, but oh, that isn't awakening there.
He was just very, he was expressing, maybe he was very down to earth, very humble.
Great humility.
Humility, yes.
He said, Dainya, in great humility, with a lamentation that, oh, I'm not getting everything, and great humility, that introductory verse.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Okay, well, we seem to have naturally come to a flow of questions, and if you have questions, you may ask, of course. Hare Krishna. So, 4 lines in this verse, 4 things in this verse. The Lord is extremely generous. He's revealed his holy name. And he's given his spiritual potency in those holy names. He's given no hard and fast rules for chanting them. And then the 4th thing, my feeling is my misfortune that I have no love for your holy name. And from this point, we can also go back a few weeks when we were discussing Upadeshamritam, because Rupa Goswami, who is also giving Mahaprabhu's teaching, but as his mouthpiece, if you like, Mahaprabhu established Rupa Goswami as the head of his sampradaya, to be his spokesman. So we call ourselves the Rupanuga Sampradaya. And there, in his 11 verses, which are again actually Mahaprabhu's verses, is expressing that we may not have taste for the holy name. We've come, we're chanting, but we haven't got some taste. Even we find, oh, I've got to sit and chant the holy name. It may not be tasteful in the beginning, but a miracle of this holy name is that by constantly chanting the holy name, it as a medicine will remove that disease that we haven't got a taste for the name. It will remove the disease, like jaundice. Sometimes in India, not only India, in the tropics, it's fairly too common, you can say, that people get jaundice from contaminated water, where it's a hepatitis. The eyes go yellow, and you taste sugar, sweet things taste bitter. It's an anomaly. Sweet things taste bitter, but sugar cane, condensed sugar cane, is the medicine for jaundice. You take sugar cane, you'll get better. But at the beginning, you give the person that sugar cane, and they take it, oh, it's so bitter. But they keep taking it as prescribed by the doctor, the medicine, and then gradually they get well, and then, oh, sugar cane, it's sweet. Yes, we told you it was sweet. This way. So there is hope. It's not we are hopeless. These things are given. We are given the mood and we are given the medicine. We're given the hope. And the question here, or representing somebody with a question.
I'm just wondering, Maharaj, if you could, just following on from that question, possibly from Manish, if you could maybe explain something about Mahaprabhu coming in the mood of a devotee, and that's because we have some here that may not understand completely who is Mahaprabhu.
Okay. So if you know nothing about Mahaprabhu, at least you can understand that you can learn that Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was an exemplary teacher of the Yuga Dharma, the duty in Kali Yuga of chanting the holy name of the Lord. But not only was he an exemplary teacher, then from the scripture and from the experts in the understanding the science of spiritual life, of God consciousness, they also show that he is the Lord himself coming to set right the consciousness of the people in a particular time, place and circumstance, as we touched on that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious principles, I myself come, one form or another, in order to set the principles straight and to protect the devotees, to give nourishment to the devotees. And in Kali Yuga, then the Lord is coming as Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the perfect example of chanting the Lord's name, of giving oneself to the Lord, of self-surrender, of sacrifice for the Lord's pleasure with everything, putting the Lord at the center through the chanting of the holy name. But this gets transformed into activity, not just to sit and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare and do nothing. But Mahaprabhu has also shown what is the mood behind that. It's like a prayer for service. And so we are asking for service. The land of Krishna is made up of servitors. It's not made of yogis sitting there doing nothing, living off the air, the prana in the air, living off like the subtle elements. It's made up of active people full of love of God, full of the joy of giving to the Lord and to the worthy. And who are worthy? The devotees of the Lord. And Goloka Vrindavan is that land. So Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is coming to teach chanting of the holy names with that mood of service and the prayer of service. And so at least we can understand that he's a great reformer. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our master like this, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he also sometimes refers to Mahaprabhu in his general presentation, the great reformer, Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because in India he was a great reformer, and he woke up the people from fully materialistic, motivated religious life to religious life to wake up dormant love of God. So that is a wonderful reformation. So Mahaprabhu, in the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said, this verse, it will take away all your unhappiness and your sorrow, your lamentation, your sorrow and lamentation, your dukkha and shoka. And so here we've got the medicine, the prescription. And everyone's got an unhappiness in this world. When you're not unhappy, it's temporary. And when you are unhappy, the good news is it's temporary. But the point is, we are in this up and down world. And the only way to get out from this, take the holy name of the Lord with that hankering that the Lord has given everything. We know it. We're being told it. We just need to know. We don't have to analyze. We're being told. And then our mood that we don't have it will wake up our hankering to chant the name purely and properly, to enter that land of love and beauty, which is promised as the goal of our life, eternal love and beauty. That's, in one sense, how we could think is heaven. But different people, I understand, have different ideas of heaven. But heaven surely is where it's extremely joyful forever. But that's not the selfish joy. Selfish joy brings a reaction. Selfless joy for the satisfaction of the Lord is pure. And this is our proper home, and this is the purpose of human life, to learn what is our proper home and how to go. And the Gita classes have been running here in parallel with other classes. And one of the essential teachings of Gita is be selfless, not selfish. By putting yourself at the center, you get into debt and you have to repay that. Nature's laws are very strong. Every action there is a reaction. But if you are selfless, then you will get some good reaction, even in the material world. You help others, then good will come to you. But that, when it's only within material matter, will take you to better life in the future, etc. But it is like getting some payment, some reward, and it will be temporary. So where is the permanent home? It is when we are selfless for the Lord, because He owns everything and everything is for Him. So waking up this idea that everything we should use for the Lord in a loving way. And this becomes tangible when we are with His devotees, because then it's not something even part of our imagination, even if we're following what's in the scripture. It's tangible because we're with the devotees. But anyhow, love of God is the goal, and that eternally is there in its highest form in Goloka Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing that and showing how to achieve it. We know where we are: birth, death, accidents, the plague. London had the plague, and the whole world had virus number 19 or something recently. And so, this is all taking place here. That's where we live, birth and death, unfortunately. But now we know where we live, the goal, Goloka Vrindavan, extreme joy, overflowing happiness. How to go? The only three things you need to know. Go by chanting the holy name of the Lord as given by Mahaprabhu. And if we can receive that name in that current, that hereditary, like that of Mahaprabhu, then it is a great, great opportunity and fortune. We should utilize that nicely. Okay, we have questions, and that's why we started earlier. And I actually arranged a sheet with about, 6 or 7 quotes. Excerpts from Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. And there is never enough time to say everything, but we are trying at least to give some introduction to all of these topics, which are very valuable. They're not knowledge topics, they're learning things so we can do, and do from inside to outside. This is the point. But here is a question.
We have a question from Mukunda Prabhu on the Zoom. He's saying, Maharaj, what was Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj's instruction or view on singing the holy name in various melodies? Nowadays, it has become a very fashionable event to have bhajan, clubbing, and the tune or melody of the holy name mixed with modern instruments and so forth. Sometimes I wonder that the pronunciation of the holy name is lost on the fashion of entertaining music.
Okay, Mukunda Prabhu, Dandavad, our red-clad brahmachari there in South Africa, in a beautiful temple with so many beautiful devotees. So Mukunda Prabhu, don't worry about what others are doing. the whole world is doing all sorts of things, and on a scale of, really off the wall to a little bit close to the wall. So, but we are concerned, yes, as you were asking, what did Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, what did Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Śrīrāma Maharaj indicate for our bhajan practice, the chanting? And their not only indication, their instruction is mridanga and kartals. And yes, gong, yes, the bell, yes, conch, these items, but it's mridanga and kartal, which is the instruments used by Mahaprabhu and his associates, his parshads. And we are following that same thing. And so this is Gurudev and Guru Maharaj's guidance. Guru Maharaj very strictly followed what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave. And Gurudev, he did come around the West. He did accept in different places where there was music with the guitars and other things there. But he accepted that as some offering to him, if you like, for his pleasure. And he's not like discouraging those devotees. And we were there in Australia. Here is Abhinavasundar, Kelly Kadamba, and online. I expect we've got some Australians too. On his Vyasa Puja day, and there was one devotee, Hari Vallabha Prabhu. Almost Hari Vallabha. Oh, sorry if he is watching. And anyway, a gifted devotee, and he, Hari Bandhu Prabhu, and a very gifted musician devotee. And on Gurudev's Vyasa Puja, he brought his guitar and some instruments, and he sang for Gurudev, and he also gave Gurudev a CD. Those days of CDs, no one knows what a CD is now. Bit of plastic that always got scratches on it, so it wouldn't play. So anyway, bit of plastic that played music. But he made a CD and gave it to Gurudev. And Gurudev accepted his offering. But it's not what we do in the temple. And it's not the standard for our practice. But there are exceptions to the rule. As Mahaprabhu said, there are no hard and fast rules. But still, we will follow the standard that Gurudev and Guru Maharaj gave. And by the way, Gurudev, with that CD, he only really ever played one CD in his car. He got, in the later years, then Bharati Maharaj gave with much heart also a car to Gurudev, and said, whatever car you like, I'll supply it. And Bharati Maharaj is wealthy, and so he was happy to do this. And so anyway, even getting the car was like very wonderful, because we found out it's not the most expensive cars that are the most comfortable, that have the best suspension and easy to get in and out of, things that Gurudev needed. And by the way, Toyota Corolla, as made in India, Gurudev said, this is the best car. I've been in Mercedes-Benz, I've been in this kind of car. This is the best car, because the suspension in India, you need suspension. At least in Bengal in those days, you need suspension. And the seating and the support, everything, and getting in and out. Anyway, Gurudev had a CD player, and he would play the CD, and he liked one track. I'll sing it for you. Oh, except it's Zoom, it won't work. Anyway, he liked the track from him, which he would himself sing even when the track wasn't playing sometimes. And it was, I can say it rather than sing it, because Zoom won't allow the singing. And that is, Trinad api sunichen na tarorapi sahishnu na amanina manade na kirtaniya sadaharihi. And so, it's not traditional, but Gurudev, he had a transcendental sense of humor, and he was happy. But in the temple, we won't do that. In the temple, we will follow mridanga and kartals. And we were playing the music, the instruments, and singing in the Nat Mandir, means the the hall in front of the deities in Navadip, and Guru Maharaj and Gurudev would send somebody down if the singing wrong, or also playing the mridanga too harshly. It's not just for banging. And I mean, we know who Gurudev, who Guru Maharaj sent, and who was the recipient of the correction. And sometimes the devotees, no, I'm not playing so hard. But if Guru Maharaj says you're playing hard, you're playing hard. It's not a matter of debate. So how, I mean, also it's not just the mridanga and kartals, they're instruments for accompanying the holy name. And the kirtans, which now it's going to go to another subject, but the kirtans, many of them, they are the holy name, many holy names. Yesterday we sang continuously 100 names of Mahaprabhu and 120 names of Krishna in our morning program. So some of the kirtans are simply the holy names which indicate pastimes of the Lord, but others are prayers, like these verses we're saying. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur composed, and I think it may be included here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur composed a parallel Bengali kirtan. Okay, not here, but it's in the songbook. That goes with each of these Śikṣāṣṭakam prayers. We sing those songs. And so these are instructional and mood. What is the mood of prayer, the proper mood of prayer? So it's not only the instruments, it's what we are singing and what mood we are singing, how it's sung.
Hari Gopal is adding a little note. He's saying, I noticed that in the first verse specifically, it says Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, not just chanting the holy name, but congregationally.
So Sankirtan, Samyak Kirtan, as Srila Guru Maharaj breaks down the Sanskrit, and it means full chanting. And that means, yes, with devotees, but what we are chanting will be full heart and not just full throat and lip and tongue. So yes, everywhere we've got this emphasis on quality, and the Sankirtan is quality and quantity. And this way, when we are with devotees and chanting with the best quality we can, and we have quantity, this is the best. But still, you see that we see some songs, some kirtan, and some writing too, that those souls who really have quality, depth, everything, they are writing and say, I am engaging in this Sankirtan for the glorification of the Lord. So it will depend on the mood, but Sankirtan, as with many devotees, this is very much best. And Mahaprabhu, he showed that, and he started Sankirtan in Navadip, and first in the house of Srivas Thakur, the courtyard, and then when he was provoked, he came out into the public and had a grand Sankirtan. And in Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will get beautiful descriptions of that Sankirtan. This is Hari Gopal Prabhu's question. Hari Gopal Prabhu is a Sankirtan enthusiast.
Yeah.
And, oh yes, the time is over, and I haven't done anything with the homework that I did in selecting some verses, some expressions for you. But it's okay. As I say, we're here to encourage everyone to actually read what our masters say in Revealed Truth, Golden Reflections, elsewhere, but to engage in chanting the holy name of the Lord. So here we are, we're at your service, and we're happy to have a full room here and a full room here also. Hare Krishna. I'll see you all better in a moment. Hare Krishna. There's Mukunda Prabhu, looking very cold. In South Africa, it's winter. And in London, believe it or not, it's very warm. Just see. And Balaram Prabhu, are you getting French simultaneous translation? Yes? Oui? Oui, très bien, very good. Beautiful. Okay, well, I'm going to get fully distracted seeing all the devotees. Indu Baladevi dancing, Malati Priya in Brazil, Madana Mohini, chant Hare Krishna, all of you be happy. Oh my goodness, I better not start, I'm going to miss someone out. So anyway, we've got, I don't know if you can see who's here, but we've got a full temple, what did you call it? Transcendental hall of temple classroom, okay, of devotees. So, okay, now you can see. You see, I wasn't making up a story. They didn't use Photoshop. They're all sincere students. There you are, and the organizers, Kalikadamba, Rasamai Pandita, Abhinavasundar Prabhu, and Saraswati Devi Dasi behind the camera. Oh yeah, I don't want to see myself on the screen. Anyway. Okay, anyway, our time is up, and one good thing about starting here a little later is that we're able to have some kirtan in the temple room before coming to the class. So what we thought today is that we'll have some kirtan here now, but whoever's in control of the Zoom, you'll have to change the microphones in a moment. And first we have to say, well, today's talk has come to an end. It seemed less time than yesterday, but yesterday seemed less time than ever, so it all seems like a short time. But we'll end with Hari Haraya Nama Krishna, but before that we give the jais so that if the sound quality is really crazy, whatever else, you don't have to stay and tolerate. But we're happy if you also join in at home, but with your microphones off, otherwise it'll be a funny sound on this side of the world. So dear devotees, everything we're doing is to present Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockop, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. They have all brought us Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and the Rupa Nuga Sampradaya. They are giving us the conceptions about the holy name, how to chant, how to behave, what to do, how to sing, what instruments, everything. It is their message, and we're just sharing as best we can. And ask everyone, please get to know Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, especially as much as possible, especially Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj. This is our one channel of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati. As much as you know them, you will be safe. And that's why we want you to know them, feel their heart, feel their expression. They care for us more than we care for ourselves. Let us not let them down. Let us do our best. So Jai to our Divine Masters, Ki Jai. To all of you at home, all of you here, Ki Jai. Worldwide, Vaishnavas Ki Jai. And Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.